Hello, welcome back. All right, tonight we are talking about the Digitone meets, other way, keep screwing that up, the Volca FM. And why I'm excited about this is because the Volca FM is another Volca that has been blessed with Pagin's custom firmware. So beyond the CC MIDI controls that Core gives us, which you can see here listed from 40 to 50, Mr. Pagan has granted us with a number more, which are very handy. In specific, we can have a mod wheel now. We can set CC to be 1 to be the mod wheel, and then any one of these specific controls we can assign to the mod wheel. So it kind of is fun. More importantly, at least I find more for convenience sake, is we can turn off chorus on and off stereo with, so I can adjust the actual chorus now via CC message, and I can also load a patch depending on the CC, so which is handy because I'll be able to use the knobs on the Digitone to control a lot of the knobs on the FM. So let's go ahead, we'll play around with the settings, and maybe we'll see if we can throw a quick little melody together. Who knows? We'll see where it takes us. All right, so let's just do the basic setup first. Right now, into the Digitone on channel 1, I got the FM. Channel 2 will be the keys. Channel 3 will be the Model D. And channel 4 will be the Volca. Alright, so just for your own benefit. Or pardon me, channel 11 will be the Volca for now. I still got to fix my channels, but we'll deal with that another time. Alright, let's find an empty pattern. Perfect. Alright, and we'll just play with the Volca FM for right now. So let's set it up to be MIDI 1. We'll configure it so it is set to channel 1. So that is me controlling the Volca FM over here. I can control it on the Digitone or on the FM. Fun stuff. Alright. So, very basic. Pick a MIDI track, set it up to be the channel that your Volca FM is listening on, and you can direct play it right on the Digitone. But you can go more than that. So let's see if we can change the patch on the Digitone using Pagin's custom firmware here. So if we look at his notes, you can see that CC88 will be used to determine the patch. So if you set a value to 0 to 4, it will select patch 1. If you select it 5 to 8, patch 2, etc., all the way up to 127. So let's see if that actually works. So how do we do that? Let's go in here. Gonna hit the amp button, and then we need to set, we'll set this dial here to be 88. So let's give that a go. All right, cool. Yes, and then we have to go into this menu and assign it a value. So let's go ahead and activate this dial here, and let's see if it works. So you can see the patch will show up here. If I tweak this dial, it should, oh, it works perfect. Awesome. So now instead of having, if I'm trying to play and I want to switch the patch around, I gotta reach up into this here, and it's a tiny little knob. Well, I don't have to do that anymore. How did I do that? Well, on the Digitone, let me get it back into focus here. On the Digitone, I set one of my 8 available CC values, this top one to be, that assigns to this knob to be 88. And then under, if you put the synth 2 button, you can get the MIDI, the filter button, you can get into the CC value. Enable the knob by holding down function, pushing the knob in, which turns it on, and now I can use this knob to change the patch on the FM. Very cool. fun enough. All right. So what should we try next? The other thing on here, what do we got? Chorus. Let's see if we can mess around with the chorus, because right now if we look at the Digitone, you can see I have the chorus enabled. It's number 4 there. The red light on that is telling us. Let's because the thing with the Digitone itself, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know you can adjust that, how the chorus sounds. But if we can now through the Digitone, that would be very cool. So according to Pagin's notes here, he's saying 86. So we can use 85 to turn it on or off. We can use 86 to control the stereo width and 87 to control the speed. So let's go ahead and set 86 and 87 up on the Digitone for control and see if we can make it sound any different. Let's give that a shot. So we'll make this guy here 87, which is the, pardon me, we'll make it 86, which is the chorus width, and 87 up here will be the chorus speed. So let's see how that sounds like. Let's give it a shot. All right, so dial this one up to 86. Dial this one up to 87, and let's, oh, remember, you do that, but you have to go back to the filter menu, which is the CC value menu for MIDI tracks, and we have to now assign function, or pardon me, hold down function and push in knob 2 and 3, which will now let you control those. So let's see. Yeah, you definitely can adjust the chorus sounding now. Very cool. That's not bad at all. Very cool. All right. So the other thing I wanted to check out, because that chorus was pretty cool, is I want to check out the mod wheel. So if you look at the notes here, it says CC1 is a mod wheel, and then CC91, depending on what that is set, it can control different things on the FM. So that sounds kind of cool. So if we look at the Volca FM, the control change options is the typical knobs on the on just the front there. So you got the transpose, velocity, modulator attack and decay, carrier attack and decay, the LFO rate and pitch, and the algorithm, and then the ARP on it too. You can set the ARP type and the division of time on that. All right. Let's take a look. So let's, at the very start, go into here again. We'll set this knob up here, the top knob, to be our mod wheel. Oh, cool. Mod wheel. Bang. All right, mod wheel. That looks good. And then we'll have to set this guy down here to be 91, which will determine what the mod wheel actually does. So mod wheel assignable via CC91. Cool. So mod wheel 1, CC91 here to actually tell what this knob is going to do. So they're dialed in. We just have to enable them. Boom, boom. So our mod wheel is set to 0, but I don't think it's not going to do anything. And let's just turn off the chorus effect right now so that doesn't confuse us that we're actually modifying anything. And turn the patch. Let's see if I can get it back to the one I was on before. Here we go. So no chorus. All right, mod wheel. So what should we assign the mod wheel to? Why don't we set it to, maybe we'll set it to transpose 40, because that's going to be very obvious when we start jerking that around. All right. So Nothing going on there. But now let's try moving the mod wheel around while we play, and that should affect the sound. And it looks like it's working, because if you see the FM while I move that around, you're going to see it's affecting the octave, which is the same as moving this guy around, right? So in my setup, it's actually probably better for me to control the FM directly with these than try to fiddle around with these to do it. But if my FM is sitting under the table or out of reach, not a bad way to control those things. But in this case, setting a mod wheel to that isn't too handy. But at least it's not a half bad demonstration. Maybe let's try to set it to, at least we know it works too. Let's set it to something maybe a little bit more exciting. Why don't we try the algorithm? Oh, why would you? I would just dial that in. What would be fun for a mod wheel? Let's try the LFO rate, which will be CC46 if my eyes don't fail me. CC46. Oh, sorry. So let's dial this to 46. Yeah, let's see what we get now. Now this patch might not be affected by LFO. Let's try a different patch, which we can easily dial in here. Not getting anything on that. You can see it is modifying the LFO, right? It's the same thing as me. So I'm not losing my mind. I'm just getting crap luck picking a patch that the LFO rate actually affects. Yeah, I'm not hearing much on that one either. There we go. Oh. That is not a good demonstration besides for what the sound sounds like. But you can see I'm not losing my mind here. I hope that you can see that I'm moving this and it's changing the LFO. So that's kind of cool. Experiment as you will with that. You can see you can set the mod wheel, and then you can set it to be any of those guys via the mod wheel controller. And then that's the other thing you can do. So what I mentioned before, like the algorithm, you can have a patch, but you can change the algorithm that's assigned to that patch, and it will greatly change the sound. So for example, let's just do it on the FM. And that's another cool thing about the FM is it's got a number of different algorithms on it. And if you look at the little sheet it comes with, it will show you how those algorithms affect the sound. But you don't even need to really know that if you're just goofing around and you want to find a patch you kind of like and try some of the different algorithms to see if it modifies it a little bit, that you can craft your own thing on the dials there. Anyway, you do you. But what I'd like to do is set up MIDI CC48 on here, so I can control that algorithm on here instead of having to reach over here and knock my mic stand and all that fun stuff. So let's do that for one last demo, and then we'll start playing around just for fun, which I may or may not leave on depending how shit my music sounds like tonight. 48. Oh, see ya. Cool. And value 7, sure. Because I believe that's what I set to 48, yeah. Okay, cool. So. So there you go. Not bad, eh? We got our FMs set up. So I'm just checking my gimbal stick. Sometimes my phone gets out of balance on it and starts heating up. So making sure that I'm not going to break it. It's not too hot, which is a good sign. And yeah, that's about it for assigning CC. So you got the ones that come with the Volca FM, and then like I should have mentioned, these Pagin ones are only if you install Pagin's custom firmware. You won't have these if you have a non-custom firmware FM. It's really easy to upgrade though, and I've ran it for probably months at this point and I've had no problems with it. I haven't heard anyone online, so even though it's unofficial, it's very safe to throw on there, and by doing so you add a ton of functionality to your FM. A lot of the stuff I'm doing now you wouldn't be able to do. All that you would be able to do is you wouldn't be able to do any of this mod wheel or modifications to the chorus, or even changing patches via CC messages. You'd be stuck to just those guys there, which is still nice, but this is really nice. Plus, the unofficial patch by Pagin also adds velocity. So if you're using a key step or anything to like a MIDI controller that has velocity enabled on it, you can have velocity. It's that simple. Yeah. Anyway, that's another topic I've already covered. All right, let's see what we can do with this thing. So, let's lay down a basic drum beat. It's usually where I like to start to get a little bit of rhythm. I'm gonna up my my microphone a bit here, just because when I start playing music, you probably can't hear me too well. I'm still trying to figure out this new setup to get better audio, so you don't hear a awful hiss sound in the background all the time. So I'm dialed up now, but you should be able to hear me talk. You'll hear a bit of a hiss until everything kicks in here. All right, let's go MIDI 4. Oh, 1. Perfect. Yeah, why the hell not? Simple enough. And I fucked it up. Alright, let's try that again. Let's up the tempo a bit. Why not? Alright, simple enough. Let's see what we can throw on there with the FM now. Alright, back to track 1. Oops. one thing I think I've done is because in live recording, the actual FM, if you look in here, all these yellow things mean a trig log. And because I've been goofing around with the algorithm while it's been in live recording, it's actually recording into the sequencer all those algorithm changes I'm making, which is making it go a little bit crazy. So we're gonna have to, I could go into each one of these and clear all that out, or I don't really feel like going through 64 steps of that, so I'm just gonna try again. And I just hold down when I'm in this menu, function clear, and then it clears the track, so I can try that again, because otherwise it's gonna sound like a garbled mess if it keeps going through all those algorithm changes. So let's try laying that again and again. If I push play, I should get my drum track back, and we just got to lay down the kind of background there again. There we go. Oh, maybe there we don't go. What is going on? I screwed that up because. Try this again. Live recording before we play around with the algorithms again. And if you're ever wondering what the original algorithm was, see how I go to 22 and you see that underline between the patch name, or pardon me, the algorithm number? That's just letting you know, hey, for this patch, that's the actual initial algorithm that was used for it. Ooh, I kind of like that. I'm just hearing a bit of clicking, and I'm trying to determine if that's coming from the FM. Or I think it's coming from the sample. Play around on my levels here a little bit. Okay, cool. So I have the Model D hooked up into a couple of guitar pedals right now. So it's either going to work or it's going to sound like hot ass. So we'll give it a quick shot to see if we want to add it in here. Wrong menu. Okay, we should have access to it. It's a little aggressive. Volca FM meets Digitone, meets the Korg sample. We'll leave the keys out. I'm not going to push my luck. Anyway, that's kind of how the setup's working right now. And we didn't even get into any of the Digitone tracks or anything. So even as a simpler sequencer for my MIDI instruments, it's a bit overkill for just that alone. But I've been having fun just playing around with these guys all together and getting a little carried away before even digging into the actual synth tracks on the Digitone. But we'll get there. Just wanted to show how the FM sinks into it, because I kind of walked through that with the sample, the beats, which I've put away for now. So sample went over the beats is the kind of drum machine for this guy. FM is cool because it adds one more FM track to the possibilities here. The keys I like on it because it's just a fun little random instrument to chuck in there and everything else. And you just heard the Model D. It's very versatile too, and works well with pedals. One other thing I'm going to probably do next is a little review on this noise gate pedal, because let me just turn this shit off here for a second. So if you hear the line now, I got it cranked up. Let me drop it down. I'm trying to figure out how best to ride the levels on the microphone while I'm not playing music and not. So it's a bit of a manual affair right now. But one thing I wanted to show you is I got a noise gate, and it works great with these pedals, especially through the Model D, especially when I'm recording a video like this. Because if I turn it off, you hear that hiss? That hiss is just the background noise of the guitar pedals I have set up on the Model D. Which gives you that background hum when you're trying to record. But if you throw a gate on there and you dial it in just to the right decibel level, it will block out that hum of the pedals, but also let the sound of the instrument come through. So that's with the pedal on. Pedal off. And I'll turn it on in the middle. Put the pedal on, it kicks in over the other stuff. Anyways, probably just ruined the review for that, but I like it. We'll do some more. I don't know. Anyways, that's good for now. I probably will end up chopping that off. Anyways, have a good night, and thanks for watching.